Greetings, all. Greetings. Uh, over what, a week and a half, 2 weeks, like I was becoming accustomed to things like this. The atmosphere being like this, and somewhat like that. You know, but for the last couple of days, 3 days actually, it's the way it's been. But gotta take our little walk anyway. Things happen. Not things happen. This is the way the earth is. The rain must fall. Because the trees and plants must grow. The earth keeps itself alive. Even though, you got this man who is in charge for the moment. And he wants to stay in charge so much that he's willing to destroy all the other people on the planet so that he can stay on top. He didn't listen when we told him, and we shouldn't have, that this cycle is the way things have always been. We, in return, don't listen to ourselves. Morning. We ourselves don't listen to. We've got millions of years of history. But we too have our tribal wars. That if we didn't do this foolishness, we would never become enslaved to any man. But we don't listen. We follow when I read the books that people worship today in their religions, when I hear the stories that the man in charge today use the term mythology. About a month ago I saw one of those in the ditch right there. That's why they're building the barriers. But anyway, when I read the so-called mythology, I often laugh because it tells the story of the universe. And we can tell the story of the universe because we traveled there and we saw that everywhere is the same. There's life everywhere in the universe. Everywhere. But wanting to advance in the way we saw I walk that way, I'm looking that way, I'm seeing the rain building. So you know what? Instead of trying to attack the rain, let me move with it. Because look at this way. See, that's what knowledge does to you. Knowledge allows you to make choices, the correct choices. And right now, that's what I'm talking about. The Dogon have the knowledge. Those are like the priests, the guardians of knowledge. That's the way it is. The Bible told you about the priests who are the guardians. Not this thing about how they're supposed to sacrifice and have that. That's what it became. But all the signs and symbols, like what they call the Star of David and the cross, the Ankh, all of those are, people turn them into religious symbols. But if you look at the so-called Star of David, in reality, it's the atom. The atom. The movement of which atom? That's the question. Which atom? Nuclear power. See? That's the symbol of the people who work in a certain industry. The staff with the two serpents wrapped around it. What is that symbol for? Today it's used for medicine. So that's the symbol of the people who work in the healthcare industry, doctors and so forth. The balance, we call a scale. What's the symbol for that one? All these things are known, but today most of them are used in like the Zionists picked up that symbol, call it the Star of David, and call themselves the chosen people, and they don't even know where that thing came from. They've got the knowledge, and they didn't just get it. No. They didn't just get it when Moses gave it to them over Israel. out of Egypt. And even then, the book told you where the knowledge came from. Came from Egypt. Where did Egypt get the knowledge from? The Egyptians said it was passed down to them. And they were told not to give it to the people who have it now, because of what they will do with it. The knowledge was in Africa. Just walk across Africa, all the way down Zimbabwe and South Africa. Knowledge is South America. But see, when the evil spread, then the earth got to clean itself up. That's the way it is. And we are getting to that point. The earth will clean itself. 90% of man on earth was just, we wake up one day and you'll walk 4 or 5 miles and not meet one person. If you ever read the Hopi prophecies, they're not accidental. They were told to the Hopis. How did the Hopis get it? They were shown what will happen if certain events, man do certain things. They don't say if the animals do things, if the trees do things. It says if man do certain things, what will happen in the earth, what the earth will do. See, if I'm going that way, and I can feel the rain right now. So that's what I tell you, knowledge. You who are, good morning, seeing what's going on the planet, and not looking at what people say as scaremongering. Yes, there are some who are doing it to get YouTube AdSense. A lot of them. You'll see people with 1 million followers. They can predict what's happening in Ukraine. Or can tell you what happened in Ukraine. It's factual. It's also information. People who tell you how the war in China, between China and America, is gonna come about. People sit down every day and they look at Chinese weapons, look at American weapons. And if you're Indian, you're thinking, you're going to say the Chinese weapons are worthless, but our great weapons, they can defend against them and anybody who does not. They're looking at that book that they got that they themselves didn't write. And they don't know where it came from or who wrote it. But it's written in Sanskrit. Egyptians got their book written in what? Egyptian language. Sanskrit is not what's written in India today. Different different language. So what part of India was that book written? South India, where the black skinned people, you see, the black skinned people. But today's gang, Modi and his people, who are they? But they got people who's, you know, selling that. And they got people who are Arabic, you know. You look at those, they have plenty of oil. Ask them to fight a war to defend Saudi Arabia. What can they do? Like normal, call on the African. That's what happened when they ruled all the way to Europe. But nevertheless, having the knowledge of what to do and what not to do. The two-edged sword, that two-edged sword. The wisdom to do good or evil, the knowledge of good or evil. The tree in the garden. And the woman who corrupted the man. And there were one people, all was well. When there were one people, listen to what I'm saying. When there were one people, one person being the leader, and they accepted that one person as the leader, all was well. And that one person never led them in the wrong path, because they chose the correct leader. He wasn't a dictator, as they call it today, fascist leader like they call it today. See, it wasn't a dictatorship. Adam had a choice. That's what the book was all about. Adam has the choice. But the division came when somebody else gonna say, you know what, this man was, this other person was whispering Adam's ear all the time, you know. People don't see that. They don't read. The person is whispering Adam's ear all the time. Even in the New Testament, they rewrote the story of Adam and told you that. The Christians, they have to give you a little bit of knowledge of the truth or the facts in order to convince you to follow the rest of the foolishness. But they told you that, he says, this man they call the devil took their God up on this high hill and showed him all the earth and says, if you serve me, I give you all of this. That's what the Zionists are doing today. But anyway, you're not just drifting off onto a story about them now. If you serve me, this is what I'll do for you. I give you all of this. It's clearing up after the shower, but it's coming again. It's dark. They're drifting this way. Rainy season is moving away to the west. It's written, they rewrote it. They rewrote the story of Adam and Eve in the garden. Right there in front of people, and people don't understand it. This man was talking to Adam's ear all of Adam's life. And Adam never bothered him. But then Adam took on this other helper. And this man, oh, he saw opportunity. And what did he do? Whisper into this man's ear. And the man came back and whispered in Adam's ear. And start the foolishness. Y'all thinking with y'all one-eyed brain and the Caucasian, the evil that he had to give you in his book, and come up with a wrong conclusion. Come up with the wrong conclusion. And I don't want you to go to your preacher and ask him about this, because he doesn't know about it. Next thing you know, he's going to be preaching it and lying. None of the leaders know about this knowledge. None of the people you see standing up today to lead people. There are people who know it. They're behind the scenes trying to pull the strings. They have hidden it so that they can let a little bit out, just one sentence or two sentences or a paragraph of truth, and the rest of it is poison. They turned it into, we are the chosen one. And the world is just eating it up. They put themselves in slavery in Egypt. And guess what? We who are in slavery here today, the people who are being abused around the world, enslaved and abused, are eager to believe that. But guess what they're saying? You can't change things. We have to be in charge. When you die and go to heaven, you'll be in paradise. Hello. Sir, Bentley. What's up, man? When you die and go to heaven, you'll be in paradise. God is going to come and he's going to choose them, wipe out the rest of the world, make the earth into a paradise, and they are all going to live there happily ever after. My brothers and sisters, knowledge, don't get angry at me, all of you who are Christian, all you are Muslim, and all the other religions. I'm setting you on a course to gain the knowledge that's being hidden, that's been hidden from you. And I told you from the beginning, it's not that you'll be gaining knowledge, it's that the knowledge that's there is hidden and it will be revealed. Go back and watch the videos, I told you that. And I also told you that among us, all the time, at all times, wherever we are, there are people with this knowledge, just like how the story about the Egyptian pharaoh who searched around the so-called Jews for that one person, that one child. Searched among the Egyptians and killed off many children. Guess what's happening today? Every black man that stands up in America or Africa to say, hey, we want to do things different. Guess what the Caucasians do? Kill him off because they're looking for that one man. But it's not just one. They have to kill off the whole planet to find all of them. And they can't. As a matter of fact, some of them look just like that. Passing as white, as people call it, look just like it. Lying as a bat. But wherever you go in the world, there's always one there. Every city, country, because the time, like I said, the earth is getting rid of, to wipe out these people. You heard about the Neanderthal. Disappeared from the planet. Some of his genetic materials remain, but him as a person, as a person you can walk down the street and look at, say, oh, he's 100% Neanderthal. He's 50%. He's 25%. Gone. And all the others before the Neanderthal. They paint this picture of the Neanderthal as a man with a club chasing animals across the savannah. Anyway, story. Wow. I have to take a breath because when I start going, it's hard to slow down, and I only have enough time, one little time. They always say, this is not to scare you, this is knowledge. Like I said, when I looked to the south, when I saw that rain cloud, I said, don't go there. I looked to the other side and I saw, oh, there's blue sky over there, so I walked that direction. By the time the rain got to me, I was almost back to where I started. So with the right knowledge, you can make the good choice. I hope Africa is taking the knowledge and the leader is going to make the right choice before they get replaced. And they're not, and if they think that only the man at the top is going to get replaced, they better think again. The whole family, whole tribe if necessary. That's how the earth works. You think the earth is not thinking. You think the earth don't have a brain that it can reason just like man. Think again. This Caucasian is not going mad, angry, because the Chinese are taking over. You see what's happening to America. It's causing floods, the environment is breaking down. All that they build is being broken down. That's not caused by some man, random man, or Chinese man coming and destroying the bridges and the roads and all that. Earth is against you. Look at how China is building. Look at what's happened to England. What happened to England? Infrastructure is gone. And that used to be a superpower. The earth. Look at Egypt today, the so-called Egyptian. A land that got almost everything. The Sahel, what they call Sahara. Everything that Africa needs is there. You think South Africa, the land that they call Sub-Saharan Africa, has a lot of minerals and all that. Wait till you get under the sand in Sahara. Oceans underneath there. But then again, we're not going. Have a great day wherever you are. Peace.